And I do believe we are live. Hi guys, it's Nicola here from Conscious Crypto Traders, and in the description we said Teresa would be joining us today, but we have had some developments happen here at the retreat center in Costa Rica that she's been called away to deal with, but we are hoping that she's going to come back next week and join us for the rest of our season. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're looking at Bitcoin, the bull run. It's back on, or is it? We will look at the Bitcoin live trading, where we're at, what trade setups you want to be watching out for. We'll look at Ethereum as well, and KASTA. We're starting to follow KASTA really clearly here. We love the guys that are involved in it. We think it's a good project and potentially has a really good long-term opportunity for you to be earning and staking and mining once they get the phone app up and running. I also want to introduce you, if you don't already know, to our Quantum Freedom NFT collection that we are minting on March the 10th. And if you go over to the website, quantumfreedomnfts.com, link is below in description. You want to join the launch party because you will be able to buy your NFT collection or one or two from the NFTs at a lower rate than what will be happening when we mint publicly. And that's going to, allow some kind of a value for you. Can't say too much because it's our project, obviously, but go check it out. Also join us on Instagram and Twitter. We've only just started, so we'd really appreciate your support. You can go down below and click the links here. We're telling the story of how light is coming into the world to free humanity. And we're looking for the 100th monkey, or that elusive number of people who are joining Team Freedom to create a paradigm shift in the world. So we've got a great story, we've got great photographs, and a great community forming. We'd love for you to be part of it. And I'm also going to talk later on about buying real estate in the metaverse, specifically Upland, before it becomes a metaverse, because Decentraland is becoming too expensive to get into. And we talk quite a bit about segueing into your profits from crypto as we transition into the bear market. Where are those profits going to go? Because you don't just have to have a stable coin and stake it. There are ways that you can make a lot more money during the bear market than just doing that. So we're going to be talking a lot more about that, especially when Teresa comes on board. So let us start with Bitcoin. And if you like all of that, love for you to like this videos to let YouTube know we're pumping out content. For those of you new, we'd love for your subscription. We are a tutorial channel teaching you the basics as well as intermediate and advanced strategies and technical analysis for cryptocurrencies. Also starting to segue into NFTs and metaverse opportunities for increasing profits. So if you like all that, like the video, subscribe, and let's go. So zooming out on, and oh, by the way, my glasses have broken yet again, so I'm picking up my new ones today. So don't worry about how skewed they are. Zooming out for Bitcoin, you can see that we have been trading for several months now in this downward channel that we have very clearly broken out of. And we've come back down to at least this level here, which is the bottom of the symmetrical triangle we're following, to have created a level of support here. So let's zoom out on the daily so that we've got a bigger picture of what's going on. Remember, we've got this ascending channel here, the red lines. It's either ascending narrowing wedge or a symmetrical triangle. And we are trading in here. And the last time I spoke about these channels of resistance and support, this green channel here, and then this other green one, is we had no man's land in between. What we wanted to look for is a very strong long entry and wait till we get above resistance. And I think we're right there, right in this moment. So let's go and have a look at what's going on. We have a triangle here on a symmetrical triangle here. Because we've come into it from the bottom, we've come up into it, this is going to break out bullish more often than it will break bearish. So now we're looking at signs. Is volume starting to increase? What is the Ichimoku cloud doing? Let's have a look. Where's Ichimoku? There it is there. The Ichimoku cloud is flipped bullish. Look at this. We've got green ahead of us on the 4 hour. That's huge because, sorry, I've got somebody messaging me and I forgot to turn my phone off. Let me do that right this minute. That's really huge because we've been in the red Ichimoku cloud under resistance for quite some time. And so now we have very bullish structure on the Ichimoku cloud. We're just about to, what have we got? 4 more hours of being above the red before we go into the green, which means coming out of resistance, going into flow. We've got the conversion line sitting up above the red baseline. That's also bullish. And we've got the lagging span. Now, for those of you who are in Ninjas or following us in our Conscious Crypto Traders Discord server, you know that most of us entered into a long on this swing here. Some entered in again here, which is where the Ichimoku cloud started to flip a little bullish, right? So we're riding this up. How far are we going to go? If you're not in a long, you probably want to look at trading this breakout. So as we know, we wait for the breakout because we're going to hit resistance. I would look at getting above 45,000, confirming 45,000 as support, going up and then heading up there as your entry point for the long, even though the target for this triangle is only 46,511. Once we get up in the zone and confirm this is support, then we're going to be heading up to 51,605. That's our next level of significant support, which means we're starting to create bullish structure because not only have we come out of this big pattern, we've also created a higher high right here. See how we've got this? There's a higher high here. Once we come up to there, I keep forgetting that it doesn't automatically click over. Once we come up to this level here at 51,500, we've also created a higher low here, a higher high rather, and then we're testing this as a higher high. Ultimately, whenever we break out of a descending channel, we are looking at going to the top of the channel as the target, which is sitting up at around 68,947. That takes us into price discovery. And if we zoom out on the 5 daily to have a look at that ascending triangle, and what's happened here, where are we? Oops, we've done this. This is either an ascending narrowing wedge or a symmetrical triangle. We'll see that once we get up above this level here, confirm that as support, probably confirming again this very well respected support level, then it's all bets that we're going to head towards 75,000. And that could possibly be where we get another significant downturn. We'll have to wait to see what is going on there, but that basically, I think this is more bullish than it is bearish. And if there are any bearish divergences coming on, we're probably just going to retrace to reconfirm support. Now, one thing we need to be aware of is that we have a CME gap, that's an old CME gap, let me delete that, around 40,800, I think it is, or 40,700 to 40,900. Somewhere in there, there is a gap. CME gap, for those of you who are new, is when the Chicago Mercantile Exchange closes on Friday and it sets its price of Bitcoin to where Bitcoin was when it closed. Then when it opens on Sunday afternoon, if the price of Bitcoin is higher or at a different range than it was when it closed, a gap is created. And those gaps tend to get closed usually within the first week of trading afterwards. Not all CME gaps get closed. Some remain open, but the majority of them do get closed at some level. So if we don't close that gap today, tomorrow, the next day, we could close it next week, or when we have another big drop, that is going to be an area for us to look at. If we don't close it in the next couple of weeks, it is possible that this could be where we fall when we go into the bear market. So I wanted you to be thinking right now of when the top of the market is going to happen, time frame wise, and when you're going to start taking profits out when things could get crazy. And the number one reason why you want to be thinking about it right now is that when we start getting to the top of the market, and if you follow the rainbow chart here, once we start getting up into this orange area and even the red area, those are all alert levels that we're reaching to the top of the market. You'll see the bull cycle ended when we were in the red, we came back down. This bull cycle actually exceeded the red zone, and then we came back down into the bear cycle. So that's what we want to be watching out for as a knock on the door to start looking at scaling out of your Bitcoin particularly. And the reason why we want to be doing that is that last bull cycle and even the one before, what can happen is when people get greedy and they want to wait and they wait and they wait and they wait to sell right at the top. And when the alarm bells go off, excuse me, when the alarm bells go off to sell, so many people are selling that exchanges collapse. You can't log in. There's all sorts of technical issues. And by the time you get in to be able to place your sell order, then the price has dropped and you've lost all of that profit because of waiting and their greed. So by planning out your strategy on at what price and when are you going to sell, then you have those sell orders already in, and you can always change them, but they're in, so that if anything happens and you can't log in, it should be automated, because the longer your orders have been in, the first in the queue that you are going to be. So we're going to do a whole tutorial on that. If you're in Ninjas, obviously, yesterday we looked at everybody's strategies and everybody's coins, and we're starting to say, here's the level to take out 30%, 20%, 25, 10 or whatever. And we're doing that very methodically, but we'll give you the training on what to look for next week, I think, when Teresa's on. But right now you want to be thinking about, when are you going to start scaling out? How much are you going to scale out? How much are you going to leave in for the next cycle that you might stake? And how much are you going to leave in to short the market if you're day trading and you want to short the dip into the bear market? We will be covering that, right? And then what are you going to do with your profits? Now, Teresa and I talk about NFTs and Metaverse and even DeFi coins, for example, as being great places to look at putting all of that profit in, so it keeps growing and it doesn't stagnate like it would do if you were in a stable coin and all you're earning is, whatever the staking rewards are. There is ways that it could possibly inflate in the NFT world, as well as the Metaverse, specifically real estate. While it will have its bear markets and what have you, its cycles will be quite different because it's not dependent on the halving cycle of Bitcoin. It's more dependent on the project's general market conditions, as well as the industry and the fundamentals within the different projects themselves. That's why we've created our own NFT project, and we're looking at minting very soon. And I think that the rarity of what we're doing is not just the photographs themselves. There's also the consciousness that's behind it and the story behind it. And it's also why we're getting into, buying real estate in Upland. Decentraland started to get a bit more expensive, so it's higher. It's a higher entry level. That's why we'd love for you to join us. And if you go down into Upland and you use my affiliate link, you're going to get 50% of whatever you put into the game back in tokens to buy free properties, as well as below that is a link over to where I've done some free training for you to show you some strategies, what you need to be thinking of, and how to play the game and buy the real estate. So all of those links are below for you to get involved there. And right now it's cheap. In another month, 2 months, 3 months time, it's not going to be so cheap, especially when people start segueing big time into the game. because Decentraland starts to get a bit prohibitive, but also people are taking crypto profits out and putting them into gaming and Metaverse and all that sort of thing. So that's what we want to be thinking about there. For Ethereum is looking pretty good. Again, we were in a downward channel and we've created some higher highs here right now, having burst out. And what's significant about Ethereum is that over the whole structure of the swing low, the beginning of the bull market to the swing high, the all-time high, the golden ratio is sitting right at around 3,050. And we are above that. And not only that, we've come back down and tested it as support and bounced back up. So it's a little bit more clear that we could be in for some really explosiveness here with Ethereum pretty soon because of that significant support that is now under us. All of the FUD around creating a lower low is still possible, but now on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, we have got support under us. So the time to long is usually when we've broken out, come back down, retested as support, come back up and gone above where we broke out. So here's the candle, we're just below it. So we break above 32.34 with a very, very clear break above. We've got volume at the bottom. We're under 60% on the RSI, which means we've got room to move. That's a fairly good entry point for a long, all the way up to the resistance level of this here, which is at around about 3,500 to 3,538 as a first test at resistance, right? If we bring in bringing the Ichimoku on the 1 hour, you're going to see there's also a W there. Oops. See that W? Down, up, down, up. This is a bullish W because the second part of the W is a higher low from where we started, and it's retesting the golden ratio as support. And then there's the neckline there of the W that we've broken above. So we're right in really good entry points for longs, but look at the RSI. The RSI is starting to get a little bit overbought. So we really want to look at the Ichimoku on the lower time frames. And right now it looks like we could consolidate, but if you were to enter in here, I wouldn't be doing it personally with huge leverage, because we could roll over and come back down, in which case you want to top up the trade to lower the level that you're entering into, just in case we do get that rollover. We do have volume increasing. Look at that. It's decreased just a little bit. But that RSI is not a really good position for you to start a long. However, the Ichimoku cloud is saying it's time to long. So you've got to weigh up the risk that you're prepared to take. If you're prepared to take that, and then also and then buy lower and add to your trade, if we do retrace, say, back down to 30,054 or 3,100, say, add to the trade, lower your entry point, then that's a risk that you're prepared to take. Then, that is an option for you. Otherwise, you want to wait until we get above this candle here to enter, to really feel confident that we're going up. And again, RSI, we want that ideally to come back down again. The other thing you can do is look at the 15-minute. If we look at the 15, hey, Kelly, if we look at the 15-minute, we want to look at the Ichimoku cloud, and we can see that in the next hour, it is possible we could retrace, but then we're flipping bullish. So there could be a better entry for the long if we do have a little bit of a retracement again here. So watch that. But this is very bullish structure on the 15 minutes. So that's really good news. However, again, we're still above, we're right at 60%. Yeah, we're above 60% on the RSI. So ideally we want to come back down, because what happens when this happens, it's only a matter of time before a whole lot of shorts go in and institutions and whales start shorting So everybody's entering into longs, and next thing you know, you get this big dip down and you're in the red, or you put in a short stop loss and you've actually lost some capital, which we don't want you to do. It's rather be patient, get the good setup, totally come over to our Discord server. It's called Conscious Crypto Traders. I think the link for Discord is below, and watch our daily up to the moment signals in there. So that we know when, you can ask questions about when it's really good to enter if you want to have some kind of a sounding board. Generally speaking, though, I think Ethereum is looking slightly more bullish than Bitcoin. So the other thing you also want to look out for is divergences. And in Ethereum, this is why I'm saying be patient. On the 15-minute, we have a bearish divergence. We've got a lower high on the RSI and we've got a higher high here. Now, divergences on the smaller time frames are only these kind of small moves. They're not the bigger moves. You really want to be looking at divergences on the 1 hour to the 4 hour and the daily long term to see what's happening here. And we don't have any divergences showing up here. On the 1 hour, it's all pretty good. But if we go over to Bitcoin and we look at the 1 hour, we did have a bullish divergence, which is playing out now. You can see here we had a lower low at the bottom of the RSI, and then we had a higher low on the price action, suggesting right here that we were going to get a bit of a pump, and we did. So the question is this finished? Or are we going to come back down and have a correction? And for Bitcoin, we've actually got a bit more room to move to go up than we do with Ethereum. So that's what we want to watch out for. We break out of this, as I've said, we've got a good trade. Ethereum will probably follow suit, which means this W is going to play out and we're going to continue to go to the upside. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what's going on with my throat today. Okay, for those of you new, if you have not subscribed, we would love your subscription, and we would love for you to be learning with us and playing with us and learning how to trade and how to do risk management, all of the beginners to the advanced technicals, the indicators that we use. We're really big on the Ichimoku cloud here. And then we're looking at segueing into NFTs and Metaverse as a way of still being able to inflate our profits during the bear cycle, which is coming up. It's coming up, guys. Bull cycle isn't going to last much longer. Even though we've got the bull run on now, it could be over in a month, it could be over in 2 months, and it might be over in 6 months. We don't know, but we've got to be watching these signs. Specifically, you want to be watching the Bitcoin rainbow chart, right? Okay, cool. So we're also following KASTA, which is Carl from the Moon's project, along with his buddies. And they are putting together an app on the phone where you can do peer-to-peer fiat and cryptocurrency exchanges without paying fees. So I think it's going to be huge. There's also going to be massive staking and mining opportunities for you to see bigger returns on the KASTA tokens that you have. It's being traded, spot traded on Bybit right now. It's in a bit of the doldrums price-wise, but we did have a breakout of this descending narrowing ridge right on time, really. We've come back down. I think now we're looking at, are we going to test support, or have we found a level of support and now we're just going to be going upwards? So let's see if I can go to the bigger chart here so you can see it. There it is there. And it looks like we could still get a little bit more downward action. We don't have this on TradingView yet that I know of. I keep watching because I want to be able to bring in all my tools and my clouds and everything like that. But we don't have that. But anyway, so we know that we're heading back up to 65 cents. And for those of you who got up here, you FOMO'd in after the fiasco of Bybit going down as an exchange, or you're looking at buying here, you bought in here rather. And so now you're sitting on like probably a quarter to a third of what you put in. Know that we've broken out of this bullish pattern. So the target is at least 65 cents. And as soon as we get a green candle on the 4-hour going back up, suggesting that we've got volume coming back in, that's a good place to actually dollar cost average down your entry point, which is what I've been doing. Every time it's hit one of these dips, I put a little bit more in to dollar cost average down my entry point because I entered up here, right? I FOMO'd in because I believe in the coin and I really wanted to get it. I didn't think that it would drop this far. I wasn't keeping an eye on it because I'm in it for the long haul. So now what I want to do is I want to lower my entry point by dollar cost averaging in. And when it looks like we're heading back up again, which I think the trend is starting to change here, right? Two higher highs, higher lows rather. And we've just created a higher high here. Look at this, right? We've gone there and we've just gone slightly above it. Then that's a really good dollar cost average place to get in. Awesome. So guys, that's it from me, and look out for more videos on buying land in Upland. We would love for you to see us, join us over on Twitter for the Quantum Freedom NFT launch, which is happening on the 10th of March. If you go over to our website, you can see the story. You can sign up for the launch party where you're going to be able to get discounted NFTs. And we are looking at doing some bonuses as well. Join Team Freedom. Help us by joining Twitter because our Twitter profile's just started and we're slowly building, but we would love for you to be following us along and participating with Team Freedom and spreading more light and love and unity into the universe with us as we advance this project. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Teresa and I have got some videos that we're going to be doing on Upland, strategy on Upland, as well as strategies for scaling out of your cryptocurrencies. So watch out for that. If you hit subscribe, click the bell and click all, you'll get notified when those get uploaded. And until we meet again, guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your support and trade consciously. Bye-bye for now.